Okay, welcome. This is for Math for Business and Finance and Math for Applications. And this is a continuation of our Chapter 1 drill problems. So I'm going to scroll down to where we left off. The previous video ended at 1-13, so I'm going to start here at 1-15. Okay. All right, so the problem is 510 times 61. Right. So again, it's important to keep things, it's important to keep things underneath the aligned properly. Ones under ones, tens under tens, hundreds under hundreds. Okay. Now we're going to start with our ones unit. We're going to take the 1, and multiply against the 510. And we're going to take the 6 and multiply it against 510, and then we'll add up our figures. Okay, so 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. Notice how I'm keeping the ones under the ones, the tens under the tens, and 1 times 5 is 5. So whenever you're multiplying by 1, really it's just 510, right? Obvious, right? But now when we start with the 6, notice that's in our 10 spot, so we're going to start here under our 10 spot. So 6 times 0 is 0. See, it's aligned underneath the 10 spot. 6 times 1 is 6. And then 6 times 5 is 30. And we're going to add those up. 0 from 0 is 0, 0 and 1 is 1. 6 and 5 is 11. So we can carry the 1 here, put the 1, carry the 1. 1 and 0 is 1. Then we bring down the 3. Our answer is 31,110. Okay. Next problem. 677 times 503. So 677 times 503. Okay. Right. So we start out with the ones. 3 times 7 is 21. So put the 1, carry our 2. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus the 2 is 23. 3 times 6 is 18. Plus 2 is 20. Right. Now move on to the 0. Notice that's under the 10 spot. So I'm going to multiply 0 times 677. So obviously any number times 0 is 0. All right. So I could do this one of two ways. I put the 0 underneath the 10 spot, and then the 0 and the 0. Right. But I could also just say, okay, I have 0 times that number, so that's 0. And notice that when I start with the 5, I'm going to start with the 5 in the 100 spot anyway. Okay, so whenever I have a multiplication times 0, I just put the 0 once. I don't have to put it 3 times and then start a new line. Okay, I can just indicate that that's 0 and then move on to my next one. Right, in this case, 5 in the 100th spot. So notice I'll be putting it here in the 100th spot. So 5 times 7 is 35. 5, and I'm going to carry my 3. So 5 times 7 is 35 plus 3 is 38. 8, and carry my 3. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 3 is 33. And when I add them all together, 1, 0, and 3 is 3. 5 and 0 is 5. 8 and 2 is 10, carry my 1. 1 and 3 is 4. Then I bring down my 3, and I end up with 340,531. Okay, I'll do it quickly over on the side, showing that the net effect is still the same even if I multiply out. So I have 677 times 503. So 3 times 7 is 21, carry my 2. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 is 23, carry my 2. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Now 0 times 677, so 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0. But now when I go on and I start with the 5, notice I have to start here in the hundredths column, all right? So 5 times 7 is 35, carrying my 3. 5 times 7 is 35 plus 3 is 38, carrying my 3. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 3 is 33. Now when I add it all up, bring down the 1. There's nothing under it. 3 and 0 is 3 in the tens. 0, 0, and 5 is 5 in the hundredths. 2, 0, and 8 is 10, carry my 1. 1 and 3 is 4, and bring down my 3. Same answer, okay? The reason why I showed you both ways is that's just a little shortcut. Instead of writing out all of this in here, all I did was just indicate it at once with the 0 as a shortcut in the tens place because it doesn't have any material effect, okay? Doing it this way, or this way, it still ends up being the same. It just takes less time for you to do it this way over here than it does over there, okay? All right, move on. 1-19. 450 times 280. So again, 0 times all of that is 0, all right? Now theoretically, I could put 0, 0, right? 0 times 0, 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 4 is 0. But it makes no sense, I'm wasting time, so I just indicate once with the 0. 0 times all of that is 0, since I'm moving over to the 10 spot anyway. Right? 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 4 is 36. Okay, now I'm going to start underneath the hundredth spot here. Remember, this was the zeros. This was the 10 for the 8. Now I'm going to start here on the next line, all right, for my hundredths. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. All right. Now I add all of them up. 0, 0, 0 and 0 is 0. 6 and 0 is 6. 3 and 9 is 12. And I put in my comma. And 126,000 even. Okay. And a thought just quickly occurred to me. When you're doing multiplication, it doesn't matter which way you do it. I could have done it as 540 times 280, or I could have done it 280 times 450, right? But all right, I'll work it out real quick here. 0, 0, 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. So that's 4. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Okay, under the hundredths, 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 8 is 32, carry my 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. When I add them all up, 0, 0, 0. 4 and 2 is 6. 1 and 1 is 2. Bring down the 1. I end up with 126,000 again. So it doesn't matter which order that you do them in. Whenever you're multiplying, you can do it in whatever order you want. But I would just stay in the habit of doing it as it's presented instead of mixing things around. But that's just a quick aside that I thought you might be interested in. Okay, so next question, all right, is division. So I think I will pick up with 121 in the next video.